Hey there, you looking kinda cute. Please consider subscribing and check out our Patreon for more. Enjoy the video. Older sisters can be both a boy's best friend and his worst enemy. Bernadette was supposed to watch over her younger brother, but she got bored and decided to see how much she could influence him. Nothing bad, just trying to keep her hand in. Practice helps you get better. Ralphie, come here. I want to try out a new game. Ralph put down his video game when he heard his sister. He went into her room by accident. He liked Bernie most of the time, and when she was in charge of the house, he didn't cause her much trouble. Get up, Ralphie! I was wondering how brave you were. Bernadette, who everyone called Bernie, said to him that older girls can be tough on boys but also make them want to be with them. Ralphie was taken in by it. I'm pretty brave, Bernie. Well, some of the older girls said that boys would be too scared to even try on some real clothes, like if it bit them or turned them into girls right away or something. The trap was set quickly and well by Bernie. Just to see how they fit, Ralph said. Bernie smiled. Then I want to see you wearing these. Ralph took a deep breath. He had always been curious about how girls' clothes felt. Bernie, what are those? Your pants? Will they be too tight for me? Okay, Ralphie is afraid of a pair of old jeans. Okay, how do these sound? These are pretty loose and you'll look great. Bernie showed Ralph a pair of harem pants with a stretchy waist that were loose and flowy. Ralph took the clothes and put them on. He looked so sad in the mirror. He was wearing the pants of a girl. He felt himself getting really tough. He turned red. Ralphie, you're not the only guy who likes the way women dress. I know you like it. Bernie, I feel kind of weird. I would say agitated. I'd like to try on your jeans right now, but I think my waist is too big, Ralph said. It was great. Perfect, little brother or sister. I'll give you my body shaper, but make sure you wear it over your underpants or whatever you call them so it doesn't hurt you. Then you should have no trouble getting into them. So Ralph took off his shirt, and Bernie put the body shaper camisole on him carefully, making sure it was fastened. She kept it loose and only did half of the snaps to give Ralph some space. Ralph looked at the changes in his body. He had done a good job of pulling in the little love handles around his waist. He pulled Bernie's jeans on more easily than she had. These cups are the wrong size. Ralph pointed to the chest and said. Bernie laughed. Well, we're not the same size there. Let's forget about that for now and see you. Ralph turned his head. It felt good. You should try being a blonde, I think. Let's take a look. Bernie brought out a blonde full-page boy wig with bangs that she wore to clubs. She put it on Ralph and tucked his hair under it. I like being a blonde, Bernie. Ralph was happy. He was having a good time with Bernie. After trying on blouses and some makeup for another hour, they were laughing and giggling. They had not heard their dad come home. What's going on here, young lady, or should I say ladies? When Dad walked in the door, he had a lot of shopping bags in his arms. He was supposed to go get some things, which usually took him a lot longer on a Saturday. He wasn't mad or yelling, but the kids knew he didn't want to hear excuses or jokes. After some stumbling, rambling explanations, Dad did the first thing any parent should do in this situation. Just like the police do, separate the bad guys. Ralphie, please go to your room for a minute. I'll be there soon. Don't change anything. I want you to stay the same until I come over. Ralph knew it was pointless to fight and went to his room. Dad looked at Bernie sternly. Bernadette, did you use your brother for your own gain? Dad was quiet and serious. Bernadette crumbled. She said she wanted to see it because she had never seen one before. She told him a lot of things, and he put some of them away for later. Okay, all girls are naturally interested. I'm glad you stopped yourself. That shows you have character, which is something all young women need. I think dressing up your brother was just a game, right? You don't like boy-girl types? Bernie was adamant and able to make his case. She didn't like boyish boys or other girls. Ralphie did make a really good-looking girl, didn't he? Dad grinned. Bernie smiled and nodded, and her hair in a ponytail moved. She had made it out. Dad was changing. As Dad got up to leave, he said, Oh, by the way, your pants need a break after the workout you gave them here. You have to wear your skirts or dresses for a week. No exceptions. Okay? But Dad, none of the girls my age wear dresses to school, right? What about softball, though? This week, I have a game. No exceptions. You wore dresses when you were little, you wear them on Sunday, and you'll still wear them when you're older. I also know that both a skirt and pants are part of your uniform. So the skirt is the same as the rules. Bernie cried, but she knew she wasn't in too much trouble. She would have to just sit through the game. 2 other geeky girls also wore the skirts. Oh well, Dad was better at this kind of discipline than Mom had been. Dad went to Ralph's house. Wow, she's so pretty. Ralphie, please stand up for me. I want to see how it all turns out. Dad went on, not in a sarcastic way, but in a firm way. Ralph stood up. He was so red-faced that it showed through his makeup. He stood there in one of Bernie's white shirts that let the camisoles show through the fabric. His waist was held in and his hips were rounder. He had on flat sandals and neither socks nor nylons. His nails and lips were the same bright red color as his toes. The blonde wig changed the shape of his face, making it look a little thinner. Okay, Ralph, what do you think? I'm not mad and you won't get in trouble. I just want to know if you've always wanted to do this, or if Bernie made you do it as a dare. Care to tell me? Ralph started to cry. I don't know, Dad. I've never given it much thought, except in those funny video clips where everyone has to dress up to hide. This is something I've never done. Honest, please, trust me. Dad gave Ralph a hug as he was shaking. Ralph, this is something almost every guy does once or twice. It doesn't matter much unless you really like it, in which case it does. Hormones and other things that happen at your age make it likely that you don't know what you want. Here's what we're going to do. Get clean and put on some clothes. Bernie is going to spend a few hours with her friends. We'll order pizza, watch some videos, and talk to each other like men. Take your time and let me know if you want to do this again. I'll help you figure out what to do. Okay, my man. Ralph hugged Dad and nodded yes. After telling Bernie to go away for a few hours, Dad walked down the hall to get ready for the evening. Yes, she had to wear a dress to Sarah's place. He kept thinking about how mad he was that his wife, who was no longer his wife, wasn't here to help. She left him for the writer, and now there was a fight over alimony. It was crazy that she left him with the kids and they were still trying to play games over money. About 2 hours later, when Dad went downstairs, Bernie was already at Sarah's house next door, and he heard Ralph coming downstairs. He knew Ralph had taken a shower because he had heard the water running. Ralph joined him on the couch in front of the TV when he came in. You look good, Ralph. You look like a strong young man. Soon the pizza should arrive. I hope you have an appetite, Dad said. Dad, why do girls have so many clothes to choose from? They can wear pants or skirts, while men can only choose one, Ralph continued. Okay, Ralph, you know you are built differently than girls. He kept going. Now those pants of Bernie's you wore today, didn't they feel pretty? Ralph nodded. Dad went on. You know, the way you look, girls will really want to get to know you. I bet you haven't had many people come up to you yet, right? Ralph was happy. A few, and especially that Marcia Fredericks. That girl is completely crazy about boys. Okay, Ralph, let me ask you. Like girls? Want to be a girl? Or are you not sure? Any answer is okay. I like girls. Dad grinned. I believed so. And I know you had a good time with Bernie when you were wearing his clothes. Don't be worried. At your age, it happens at pretty uncontrollable times. When you get to be my age, you don't do that as much and things are more organized. Eventually, they are eating pizza. Ralph knew the girl who brought it to his house. She smiled at him and told him she would see him at school. Dad told her a good thing to do. Son, she likes you. How do you feel about her? Dad said as he bit into a pepperoni slice. She's cute and not as mean as some of the other girls. I like how she makes me feel. You should spend some time with her. Your mom used to be like that. Dad got quiet. I apologize, Ralph. I didn't mean to talk that way. Dad, it's okay. Mom was a jerk to throw you out. Now she's trying to get you to stop paying her alimony. You've been great to Bernie and me. Dad hugged Ralph. Let me show you something. Ralph and he went to the bedroom. After he came back, Ralph couldn't believe how good his dad looked. He has a long brown hair. He looked great in his casual clothes, but he was the owner of a fashion magazine, so he knew about clothes. His skirt was full and mid-calf length, which was trendy. He wore thinned 3-inch heels for casual wear. Ralphie's nails and face were the same as his dad's. He was comfortable in his control petty pants, which were frilly. They also had a few inches of foam that made his skirts hang better. "You see, son, you are not the only one who likes to dress up." Dad smiled. He had one more enticement. "I did like you as a blonde Ralphie. Not so short, though. It would be much nicer to have your own length. I can take you to the barber, and Mr. Fred is great at coloring hair. What do you say?" Ralph was once more excited. He gave his dad a hug, and tears came to his eyes. Dad thought about how his son was changing as the night went on. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out Patreon for a lot more content and early access to YouTube videos.